So when babies are born, they are born with double the 100 billion neurons that exist in adult brains. During the first several years of life, what happens is that those neurons that do not connect to viable, important connections, they die off. We call this pruning. The outermost layer of the brain is called the cortex, also often referred to as gray matter. In a neurotypical brain, after the pruning that I described, the neurons in the cortex start to proliferate. The thickening peaks around 7 years old. This is especially true in the prefrontal cortex. Here are many of the functions for executive functioning and self-regulation, where they connect with all different other parts of the brain. Throughout childhood, adolescence, and early adulthood, the pruning continues until it stops around age 25 in neurotypical people. Philip Shaw and colleagues at the National Institute of Health discovered this is different for children with ADHD. Rather than cortical thickness being achieved at age 7, that maximum state is instead age 10 on average in children who have ADHD. In talking about the later repruning that happens, it's discovered that the brain of individuals who have ADHD, it is also delayed several years later. So we know that the development of the thickness of the cortex and the brain circuitry is different in people who have ADHD. So your brain is different. This is why it's a neurodevelopmental disorder. And the things that you struggle with are legitimately due to how your brain functions, how your brain has developed, how your brain is structured.